Hello everyone, welcome back. I have a very exciting video for you today. I'm going to be showing you how I achieve flawless, poreless looking makeup on my textured skin. Not only do I achieve a flawless, poreless looking finish when I do this foundation routine, but it's not cakey, it's long wearing, and it does not come off on my mask. And by that, I mean when you take your mask off, the makeup's not going to be coming with it. I will be showing you a trick at the end of the video that you may not have seen before, which is key to helping the makeup stay mask proof. Before I jump into this video, I just want to say welcome to all of my new subscribers. I have had some nice growth over the last month or two, and I'm so happy to have all of you in the Risa Does Makeup family. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, I hope that after watching this video, or perhaps some of my others, you too will consider subscribing and becoming part of the Risa Does Makeup family. Okay, I wanted to begin this video by showing you my bare skin in natural light. I have not applied anything to my skin besides moisturizer about a half an hour ago when I got out of the shower. I think you can tell by this footage that I have large pores, I have some discoloration around my jawline, I have redness, I have broken capillaries around my nose. My skin is not quite as textured as it used to be, thankfully, because I recently switched over to a skincare routine that is really working to improve the texture. If you're interested in seeing that, I actually just uploaded the nighttime routine, my nighttime routine the other day, so I'll link that video in the description box. What I'm going to be showing you here is a technique that was all the rage, I want to say about a year ago. I can't remember who first showed it, but I think I may have seen it first done by Wayne Goss. I'm not certain. Anyway, this is the technique of applying powder before your foundation. And some of you may have tried this before, and I actually did try it when it was all of the rage, when everyone was talking about it. And I didn't have great results with it. But there is a learning curve to it. So I'm going to be showing you exactly what I do. This is the exact amount of powder, setting spray, and foundation that I've discovered works so beautifully to give me the flawless, poreless, long-wearing result. So I start by taking a small amount of loose powder. This one is from Laura Mercier, but I have tried some other loose setting powders for this method, and they do work equally as well. The key is really to use a small amount of powder. If you use too much, you are going to have more of a cakey look to your foundation. So you want to use a minimal amount and just lightly dust that all over your skin. I am no longer using a foundation primer because this method works so well for me. So I've just dusted the powder all over my face lightly. And now I go in with the setting spray. In my last video where I talked about a setting spray, it was my concealer trick video, I was actually taken aback by the amount of people that left me comments saying that they had no idea what a setting spray was. I was asked several times in the comments if it's just hairspray, and my response was no, please do not spray hairspray on your face. Most brands make a setting spray now. At the drugstore, at the department store, at Sephora. My personal favorite setting spray lately for this method is the Lancome Fix It, Forget It. This one works beautifully for both techniques, the under eye concealer technique and this foundation technique. I have attempted to use other setting sprays for this method, and they have not worked as well. There are certain setting sprays on the market, especially now, that have more of a powdery finish to the skin. There's setting spray that sort of leaves that airbrushed powdered look, and those do not work as well as these. I believe the first time I tried this technique, I only sprayed like 2 or 3 times because I was worried using too much would make the foundation not apply well, that it wouldn't blend well, that my face would be too sticky. But I actually now go in with about 10 to 12 quick sprays. And then of course I let that dry for about 30 seconds to a minute. And now I go in with my foundation. I have discovered that Estee Lauder Double Wear, it's always been one of my favorites. I've always found it to be very long wearing and flawless looking, but a lot of people do have trouble with this foundation. They find that it looks cakey on their skin because it is full coverage, but they wear it still because it is so long wearing. I have tested out a lot of foundations under my mask, and honestly, the Estee Lauder Double Wear has been the one that resulted in the least amount of transfer. But I am still going to be showing you that other extra tip at the end, so don't forget about that. But if you don't want to do that little trick at the end, I highly recommend using Estee Lauder Double Wear, but use a small amount. As you can see here, I'm just taking a small amount, dotting it on different areas of my face, and then working it in with a sponge. Now, if you're familiar with my videos, you know how much I love the Stands Out Beauty Sponge. I wish I had invented this thing. I wish I had stock in this thing. And I do not use this sponge damp. You dampen it the first time you use it, but then after that, you don't have to use it wet. But if you would like to sheer out the foundation a little bit, say you don't have as much to cover as I do, then you might want to use it damp or use a damp beauty blender. But I do find that a sponge works better than a brush for this method. So once I've worked all of the foundation into my skin, you can see that I'm paying special attention to the nose area because that is where I have the largest pores. That is where I get the most oily breakthrough. That's also where I have the broken capillaries around the nostrils. And if you find that the Stands Out sponge is too big for you, it's just too cumbersome, I highly recommend the e.l.f. Camo Concealer Sponge. I use that for my concealer to blend it out, but you can also use it on the face. It's very multi-purpose. I have probably 4 or 5 of the Stands Out sponges in my rotation and 4 or 5 of the e.l.f. Camo Concealer Sponges in my rotation. I never touch a beauty blender anymore. So after that, I go back in with another very, very light dusting of powder. And when I say dusting, I mean dusting. You do not want to be baking. You do not want to be layering a heavy powder. This Laura Mercier powder, I've recently fallen back in love with. I haven't used it in years because I found that it really accentuated the lines under my eyes and the dryness when I would use it to set my under eyes. And so I just stopped using it altogether. But then I was lucky enough to receive a new one in a Laura Mercier PR package I was sent. And so I gave it another try. And I don't use it under my eyes, but I use it for this method, for my foundation routine, and it works beautifully. So now I've gone ahead and applied the rest of my makeup, and here I am again in the same natural light. And I think you can see a huge difference. My skin looks so much better. It is virtually poreless looking. I look like I have very few imperfections on my skin. My texture is not accentuated at all. And I just love, love, love the way my foundation's been looking doing this routine. All right, now for the mask proofing trick. I'm gonna take off my lipstick because we don't need that on the mask, and that will definitely come off. Boy, that Laura Mercier lip liner really stays on well. All right, so here is my mask. This is just one of those disposable kinds. And I am now going to take my setting spray again, and I am going to spray just lightly, maybe 4 or 5 times. Let it dry. And now I'm going to tuck my hair back to put this on. I always have to figure out where the nose portion is. There it is. So I'm going to lay it over my mouth and nose. And I know you're supposed to pinch it. And now we're going to take it off and see what it looks like. There is the tiniest bit right there from off of my nose. But other than that, foundation is nowhere to be found. And just look at the little teeny amount that came off on there. I'm not even sure if the camera's picking it up. Now I realize this wasn't very scientific, but I have to tell you that I have done this trick and gone out in the Vegas 100-degree heat and have run some errands, gone to the grocery store, gone to the paint store, just done some things I needed to do. And I've come home, taken this mask off, and it has been just like this, virtually makeup free. So I am going to call this MaskProof, virtually MaskProof. So that's it. That is my current flawless poreless foundation routine, and I really hope you all enjoyed seeing it and that you learned something, or that maybe you will retry this method just as I did and find more success in it by tweaking little things, little amounts here and there to get the result that you're looking for. If you did enjoy this video, then please give it a thumbs up. I really appreciate that. As I said earlier, if you're not already a member of the Risa Does Makeup family, we would love to have you. So please hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss an upload. I do try to upload at least 2 to 3 times per week. You can also find me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter under the same username. It's all Risa Does Makeup. Once again, thank you so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you in my next video.